YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Look at this awesome helicopter from Eachine, the E200, also known as Blackhawk. Yes, those doors do open. I am sliding them with my fingers on accident right now. Yes, that light does work. It is mounted on the battery. It is removable. It's very bright. So are these other lights. And I chickened out on flying this inside right offhand. I'm sure it'll fly fine, but I just wanted to give it a little bit more room because I was a little nervous I might crash it, and this thing looks sweet. So without further ado, we've got the included ready to fly. This is the E6 from Eachine. Looks a lot like what we've seen. Looks like it flies on s-fhss protocol. So that's pretty sweet. I believe I'm in low rates. I believe I'm in 6G, and I believe I'm in whatever mode I need to be in. So throttle holds off. Without further ado, we're gonna spool up. Look how sweet that is. Oh, that's so awesome sounding. There it goes. Just over 50%. Oh, buddy, look at that. That is so beautiful. Holy cow. That is so sweet. And look at this, guys. Almost hands off. We got a little bit of a drift. We'll take 1 click of trim, 2 clicks of trim, 3 clicks of trim. And I don't know if it's gonna totally trim out because maybe we got an air current, but just absolutely loving how easy this thing is to fly so far, and the LEDs are really helping with visibility. As we've experienced with other ready-to-fly helicopters, feels like the pitch and throttle curve could be softened a little bit for more of a beginner feel. I haven't done that yet, and I might do it. It is not dead calm, by the way. Man, that looks so good in the sky, very realistic looking. Direct drive brushless motor for both the main rotor and the tail rotor. As you know, I have been flying airplanes for a long time. We definitely can feel the wind off of that thing. It is very powerful. Up against the blue sky with the beautiful clouds in the background, it just looks absolutely fantastic. I do feel like I'm riding the sticks on the throttle to kind of hold altitude. Is definitely not like the E110 or the E120 that we recently reviewed. Those are more of a toy grade helicopter. This is more of a hobby grade helicopter in my opinion, as noted by the Futaba FHSS protocol. So you could hypothetically use another transmitter of that sort. As you can see, I'm coordinating my turns. That thing snaps back very quick in the 6G. It just gets right back to position. Very good cyclic rate. I can coordinate my turns. The wind is definitely blowing us, but I'm gonna fly right in front of our windsock so you guys can see just how the wind looks. That's a calibrated windsock, by the way. So you're looking at about 4 to 5 miles an hour, I'm guessing, right about there. So it's not dead calm, and it is a hot wind, lots of thermal activity today. So we're gonna go out here. I'm giving my stick input about 40% forward and about 50% just kissing above halfway over, and you get a really good high-speed flight. Almost too fast, in my opinion, for this helicopter and the scale performance. I would say it is very much beyond scale performance, but as you would expect from a military aircraft, you want it to be able to do the stuff so it can stay away from the cruise missiles. But just in looking at how sweet it looks up against the backdrop, I am just loving the way that this thing flies. That's almost full cyclic at a 45-degree angle. And then just a coordination. You can see you can really whip that tail around. I'm gonna show you that's full input on the rudder. Full input on the rudder. And as you can see, very touchy on the up-down, but it's handling the wind with the best of them. That's about 25% on the cyclic there forward. So just a little teeny bit of pressure to make it go forward. It definitely recovers with the up down. The 6G has this thing locked in when I let go. It basically stops, but then you don't always have that barometric response that you would expect from one of the smaller indoor flying helicopters. So probably a good idea that I didn't take off in my kitchen, although it would fly in the kitchen just fine. I feel like with the air currents and stuff, it would be a little bit for my skill level. Absolutely love the way this thing looks. You can see the bottom of the brushless motor there, which is about a greenish, yellowish color. and the camera crew is feeling the heat along with me, so having that air come off the rotor is really cool. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to give you guys a nice gentle kiss on the ground with the mains and watch the spring-loaded wheels work. You ready? Oh yeah. And then back out of it and then back down. Watch this. Watch it break the pressure. Oh, that is so cool. And we have some manned aircraft at about 2,000 feet. Looks like I may have knocked one of my tires loose. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a flyby for the tower. Tower, what's wrong with my tire? Can you tell?
Oh yeah, it looks like it folded up actually.
Looks like the tire came off. So let's go ahead and take a landing. We're gonna do it right in front of us here. Look how sweet that thing looks. Yeah, tire popped off. Okay, throttle holds on. All right, now, I wanna talk about this thing. First of all, is this a beginner helicopter? It is so much better than what you would have got 10 years ago. Is it a beginner helicopter? I don't know, kind of depends. I think that if you've flown indoor drones, you may get a kick out of this. And yes, I was correct, it was the tire. So as you can see, just the tire. Whoa, that motor's hot, so be careful.
A little bit.
That is glued on with a special type of glue. And it's also fit on with some just pressure. So we can go right back to town. Love the way the tires look. Okay, I cannot resist. Camera crew, we may have to check the battery status real quick. Oh, I want to go down into the jungle with our jungle helicopter. Well, this isn't jungle. Okay, so we got two. We're gonna, nature walk time, guys. You know I'm Brian Phillips, RC, we like to do it. Okay, throttle cuts off. I believe this thing will do everything you want in terms of upside down, forward flight, all that stuff. But I'm not gonna probably do that because I'm not that good at flying upside down. Time for nature walk, guys, next to the bushes. So cool. As you can see, I'm kind of struggling to hold that exact heading, or excuse me, that same altitude, but I have plenty of power to correct. It's not like I'm fighting it. And I am intentionally trying to get it close so we can get some sweet shots of how sweet this thing looks. I mean, just love the way it looks. Do you want to go over here maybe, or do you want to go down by the bridge?
Might be a little more open. Well, either way, actually.
Well, then let's go this way.
Okay.
It's, you know, sometimes if you can't fly a helicopter in a tight spot, you probably don't have as much control as you're attributing to a given helicopter. And as you can see, we've gone up and down some different altitude changes there. And look how really amazing that helicopter looks. Time for nature walk, guys. Here we go. And it is windy, by the way, next to this beautiful oak tree, and then into the middle of this little forested area. Oh yes, so cool. Camera crew, you want to go to the front of poopers from behind there, and we'll just trade angles there. All right, I'm gonna fly by the forest there. You ready? Let's fly by the tree, the giant sequoia. Oh, that is so cool. You totally missed the sequoia though, camera crew.
I caught a glimpse of it.
Well, we'll do it this way. How about that? Uh-oh, you see the green light flashing? That means we're losing power eventually.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna try to fly a little bit longer before the battery dies through the jungle, guys. Just absolutely amazing. Gotta love flying a blackhawk in the middle of the jungle. We're gonna go drop our troops in so they can do some dangerous deeds, some dirty deeds for our countrymen, unbeknownst to them, so they can fly in and fly back out, of course, and keep the peace and order that the world expects. Oh no! Evidently we were shot down by some horrible enemy craft. I don't even know what happened, but evidently that's what happens when the battery's down. Throttle hold is on. Okay, we're gonna pick this up. Camera crew's gonna hold the transmitter. Okay. Not sure what happened there, but it looks like we ran it out of power, guys. Now, I can't believe how aggressively that stopped, but here's what I'm gonna tell you about that. When you see your flashing light, do not go into the jungle for one final extraction. Just get out while you still have juice. Amazing helicopter, flies great. We are absolutely going to be doing more flight footage with this in mere moments. We're gonna go get another battery. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to flip over once for us without totally losing it, because I am curious how quick the auto leveling will go from 3D back to 6G. 3D, of course, would allow you to do this sort of thing, you know, or this sort of thing, TikTok, or flying inverted and cutting the grass. Looks like we could probably cut the grass here, although this is grass A. So I just love the way that this thing looks, and I know you will too, so stay tuned. We're gonna throw another battery in there and come right back. Okay, so we came inside and we can see a little bit better in here. I'm gonna release these two. Then you can grab by this light, and then once you get it kind of pulled out, you can see there's a gap here. So I'm gonna lift on that, or pull down on that if you will, because I kind of got it upside down. And then it just slips out just like that, okay? So first thing I notice is that it's warm, the battery is warm. You can unplug the light, and then this little light comes off. Maybe we'll fly it without the light for the second flight, just so people can see that it can go without it. Feels kind of tough to get off of there. Oh, it's because it goes on from the front. Okay, so be careful about that. Now, it comes with a charger. We'll go into all the details on that through the unbox part. So if you look here, it's on a red solid light, so that means it's fully charged. Okay, so 4 lights means fully charged. And then nothing means dead. Now this might be a little bit too hot to charge. That might mean it's too hot, so we're just gonna kind of leave it here to cool. And then this battery, in fact, why don't we do this? I'm gonna grab that one since it's warm. I wanna show you guys what you're dealing with. These custom made packages that go around these batteries. For me, it's somewhat of a deterrent. I'm not a big fan of this style of battery, but look how easy it was to put in. So I wanna show you why it's not such a bad thing. This is our good battery. We'll use that here in a second. It's kind of weird because you're actually turning the battery on. So I'll get that one. I'll get the light ready to rock and roll. Just slide that on. Super easy to do, by the way. Okay, a little bit unusual that you have to mount a light, but I want to show you guys what you're getting into. Okay, so look, that doesn't fit in there, okay? So it's super small is what you're gonna need to reach. And guess what? It came with a super small screwdriver. I didn't think a thing of it at the time, but now that I'm needing to get in there, I'm gonna get into the bag that came with it, and I'm just gonna grab the screwdriver. So it's a super small Phillips screwdriver, which we've received these before from other helicopters and airplanes we've done. So I just want you guys to see what you're getting inside of here. So if you guys wanna buy this helicopter, buy it from our links. You'll be helping to support our channels. If you're seeing this thing on the Banggood, and this is an embedded ad, you can go to brianphillipsrc.com, follow the links there, and you'll help to support us. There's 2 screws here, and then 2 screws here. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold my index finger. See, I knocked them right out of there. I was trying to hold my ring finger over them, actually. Super small screws. Put them on the world's worst countertop for losing screws. Okay. All right, so all 4 screws, and then I'll show you what's inside of here. So you can see, you basically have a large LiPo with a little control board that's mounted to the face. And look at that, that's all it is. It's just a 1300 milliamp 3S pack that is soldered onto this board. 1, 2, 3, 4 connection points. Pretty simple stuff, right? And that is what you get inside of there. So the reason I show you that, that's foam from our packaging. The reason I wanted to show you that is that suppose you get on there and you cannot figure out how to get another battery at some point in the future. Well, then you can go ahead and use your best judgment and see if you're willing to try to rebuild that apparatus. It does look like they have 4 wires coming off of that, which makes sense for a 3S, 3 cells in series. So you'd have to do a little bit of testing to figure out which wire's which, and you could just go ahead and redo that. But just do that real carefully if you are gonna do that. I would say in the meantime, the best thing to do is follow our video. In the video description below, there's a link to buy the helicopter. If you just scroll down a little bit, you should be able to see some accessories that are available to complement your order. Now, I got 2 batteries with mine, which gives a pretty good amount of flight time. What do we get, like 5 minutes, 6 minutes of flight time?
Actually, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's one of the longest helicopters we've ever flown with, but it's also hot outside and it's windy. And windy and hot usually means, especially with a heli that has auto leveling, it's gonna be fighting a lot to keep still, essentially. Okay, so I'm just tightening this and I don't wanna overdo it and crack the case, so I'm going real slow. These are bigger screws than these if you take that apart. So that's what's inside of there, real simple stuff. Feels like it's cooled a little bit. Let's go ahead and try to put that into the charger. Okay, so we have a good charge now, so it's just doing the simple flash instead of the green lights flashing like this, which means that there's a problem, it's not gonna work. So in our case, I'm actually gonna put my hat on and my sunglasses on my head, but I'm gonna get myself ready. We're gonna try flying this inside real quick, but we're only gonna do one short little jump. And we haven't had the tire come off the second time, even in our crash or whatever you want to call that, where it just went to the ground. I don't even think that qualifies as a crash, it was just a landing. It was an unexpected landing. Okay, so you kind of get it back there and it rocks, and then you can sort of feel, yep, there it goes. So I'm in. It's a little bit unnatural feeling when you get down there, but then these two both need to latch and then power it up. And I didn't press and hold long enough. You'll feel it jump to life. You'll hear the ESC, and the camera crew is gonna carefully get back out of the way, just in case something goes horribly wrong. Okay, so we have everything working. Throttle hold is on, and I'm gonna go ahead and spin this up, and we'll try to fly like up and over and maybe into the living room there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, just absolutely rock solid feeling. No problems at all. Would I want to fly this around in my living room a lot? Probably not. It definitely moves a ton of air. And let's bring it down on the middle of the carpet. Let's see if we can do it nice. Oh, and by the way, look up above. What do we have going? We have a ceiling fan going. Okay, so real nice, gentle touchdown. And then of course into the throttle hold. So no problem. I probably should technically by rights fly it up onto the counter, but I want to save some juice because I think what I want to do is take you back outside and take it out of 6G and go to 3D so I can show you what it looks like, if it'll actually perform as a 3D flyer or if it won't. And if it won't, then you guys will know that going forward. But I can say even before I test that, and it's possible that this will end up coming back inside in pieces because I'm not a 3D heli pilot. This is a sweet plane, helicopter. Sorry, I say plane. It's like a gut instinct reaction. I don't know why I would say plane, because we're surrounded by them, up and down, inside out. Yeah, there's just planes in every direction.
Yep.
I love this helicopter. I'm a sucker for scale aircraft. Even if the scale aircraft flies crappy, I still kind of love it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this thing doesn't fly crappy. It flies great. It's very good. It's got fantastic control ability. My only complaint is that the throttle and pitch curve, okay, throttle cut is on, is just like you're right in that middle spot of the stick. So if I had my way, and I could technically go in and adjust it, I probably would open up that range right around 50%. So instead of having like 1 or 2% difference, I'd have like a 7% difference. Because then you can toggle between perfectly level down and perfectly level and up. Because right now it's either up or down, or just, I mean, you're really riding that line. You're either here, or you're going up, or you're here, or you're going down. And I, as a, for lack of better terms, crappy helicopter pilot, that's hard for me. So if you're a good pilot, you're not gonna have that problem. The better heli pilots are not gonna even experience that. So we'll pause and go outside, and just so you know, there's no funny business. We flew for what, like 20 seconds or something?
Yeah.
So we'll probably expect to get about 5 minutes of flight time, and no guarantees on inverted flight, because sometimes that's usually a precursor to crashing. All right, so we're outside now, 6G. We're gonna go ahead and shut off throttle hold. And here we go, we're gonna let it spool up, get it throttle about 50%. Okay, taking off, here we go, absolutely gorgeous. Just gonna turn around, and then I'm gonna go out of 3D 6G and see how it looks. Oh yeah, it definitely lets you do it all. And then when you flip back to 6G, it auto levels. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the helicopter There you go. That's one loop. You don't typically see the Blackhawks doing that. That's just end over end. I'm back in 6G now. I'm kind of in chicken mode right now. You could see the helicopter was a little bit angry with me doing that because it was like, that's a lot of juice, guys. Don't be doing that, Brian, it said. But look how stinky good this is. It's a scale helicopter. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. And it is not dead calm for the record. It is pretty windy out here. A lot of headwind right now. So I want to see that again, except I'm going to do it with less chicken tendencies. Okay, so, whoa. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I'm back to 6G. You know what I think it is idle up versus not. So I'm gonna try switching this mode and see what happens. Okay, there we go. I must be in idle up now. Now I'm gonna go to 3D from 6G. Okay, here we go. There you go. There's your upside down flight. 2 of them in a row from your very worst heli pilot on YouTube, Brian Phillips, RC here. So I don't know if you guys could make that out. I hope you could. Camera crew, could you tell? Hard to tell, huh?
No, I can tell in person.
But I can say this, if you guys want to go from 6G to 3D, you need to go to idle up. So pull that back towards you. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you will stay in basically throttle. The throttle curve will be wrong, okay? So I'm going to show you that real quick. Okay, so go to idle up, still in 6G. See how it's still auto levels? It's just a little bit more aggressive in general. I'm going to go up higher. Then I'm going to switch down to 3D. There you go. There's your loop. And then here, I'll try. Then back into 6G and back out of idle up. And there it is, live to see another day, folks. That was like 4 loops, and I don't know if you get a whole lot more on Brian Phillips RC before people start crashing. And all I can say is, boy, what an absolutely fantastic experience this helicopter is. Now, if you're buying this helicopter for 3D flight, you're probably buying the wrong helicopter. By the way, what's our telemetry data show? 2 of 4. And we don't see a flashing anti-crash beacon that's green on the back, right behind the main rotor. When that starts flashing, I highly recommend you think about landing. But look at that. Even in the bright daylight, you can see all of the LEDs, even the red one. Amazing. Red is usually the first to wash when it gets really bright out. So just loving these helicopters that we're getting from Eachine. You definitely got to go pick one of these up. I'm sure it's expensive, as all helicopters that actually do things are getting to be pretty expensive these days. But what a sweet helicopter. It definitely does everything you want and then a little bit more. And yes, this helicopter, my inclination is that it's going to be flown more as a scale people deliverer into special ops behind enemy lines. That's what this helicopter would be used for. Not for doing 3D performance, but you know what? If you decide you want to do that when you get tired of delivering your munitions and soldiers, you can go ahead and start doing some 3D flight. And yes, that tire got knocked off again. You see that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and make a somewhat emergency landing right here. Nice smooth one, no problem. Bring it in real nice and gentle and then throttle cut. And we'll show you just how. Yeah, our camera shut off because it was too hot, so we had to put it between ice packs.
Hopefully it'll stay on.
So we were going to talk about this tire popping off. Okay, so as you can see, these are squishy wheels, and they have a small rim that catches right here, okay? So this spins, and this goes on, and it is a legit rubber wheel, which is amazing. And I don't know why we don't have those on all the airplanes we work with. But I can tell you this right now, if you have trouble with that staying on, there's about 4 or 5 different ways I can think to keep them on. A, have greasy, perfect landings. B, the second would be to use an adhesive. Probably something like this would work, like a foam to foam product. There's also a glue CA that you can use. It is in a Bob Smith Industries bottle that's black in color. It's a rubberizing agent, and you put it on and it sticks. It's really good. This would probably work fine too, and this is like a mucilage or like China glue or whatever they call it. And I don't say that disparagingly, that's just what they call it. So it's like literally a tube of what looks like elephant snot. I don't know if you guys...
Have you seen all that elephant snot?
I mean, I deal with it a lot. So, but no, yeah, these tires are amazing. I love the overall look of the helicopter. I can't hardly believe how well it flies. And as you can see, we're down to about 2, but it's had a chance to cool down for a second, admittedly, because of our camera woes. So as usual here on Brian Phillips RC, we fly in the most uncomfortable circumstances so you can get the most amazing videos at any given time. And yes, it is a hot, muggy wind, but this thing didn't seem to mind it too much, which is amazing. And by the way, the whole 3D performance, as much as I would like to say, you know, it's kind of lame that a scale heli would do like loops and stuff. I don't know, I still think it's pretty cool. It's fun to do. But if you guys are really seriously looking for a 3D experience, if you're looking for something 3D, the E150 or the E180 is gonna do it a lot better because it's lighter and less fluff going on. This thing, however, is amazing, and it is exactly up my alley. I far prefer a scale heli, even if that means I give up a little bit on performance. I love the way these things look, and this thing is definitely no exception. It is absolutely gorgeous, and just even these little tiny details like a little spring-loaded landing gear, which is gonna absolutely be the first thing to break on this helicopter. It is so cool.
I feel like if you're looking for Christmas gifts or something and you buy it for your husband because he thinks he wants to do RC or something and he ends up not flying it, it's still gonna look cool like sitting on the shelf in his office.
Yeah, that's right.
Over something like the 150 or the 180. Like this will look cool if he ends up not flying it.
And these do look cool. It's just that they're a different cool. It's more of a sporty aerobatic thing. I just think that in this particular case, we have gotten a very detailed, very scale looking military aircraft that also flies good and does 3D. Very cool combo. Just to give you an idea, because we do quite a few Eachine products, I'll bring it to you. We've got, and just did a review on an Eachine 120, which was another amazing little scale heli. This one just released a little bit ahead of this. Amazing product if you're looking for something that is scale, but you don't need the performance, and you're like, you know what, just as long as it looks like a military sort of thing, this would definitely be in the order of something to consider. Christmas gift-wise, my wife said that, and camera crew and wife said that. This one won't fly upside down, at least not as configured and ready to fly. I don't know if you can even fly it upside down if you want to, because I don't think it's designed to do that. I believe it has all the stuff that it could technically do it, but it's not set up to do it because you can't ever bring this out of auto leveling. But also it will take off and you can set the controller down and walk away from the thing and it'll just sit there and fly. You might have like a really, really slow drift like this. No problem in the living room. This one, it's a little bit bigger. I wouldn't want that to crash into the cabinets, okay? Because it's heavier. I mean, it's significantly heavier. But the thing is, it is so gorgeous. And I am loving the scale details. I mean, there are many models I built as a kid that were legit testers models that you would take and break out the little pieces and sand them and cut them with X-Acto knives and, you know, stick them together or glue them together or snap them together or whatever you had to do, and they would look half as good as this thing. And this thing really flies, which is just, mine would have been blown as a kid. So amazing. And if you guys haven't learned to fly and you want something that's maybe even yet a little bit easier, great option, the Eachine E120. And this thing is amazing. It comes as a ready to fly. We did a video review just the other day, not 100% sure when the videos are gonna publish because I'm really excited about this one and this one. But this is a great option opposite this. Or maybe if this one's out of stock, you've got this, you get this coming, and then when this comes back in, you can order this one. but just amazing. Super cool stuff coming from Eachine. Good job, Eachine. Very happy that this helicopter turned out as good. And to be honest with you, my expectations were very high on this helicopter, and I was outdone. I mean, you outdid my expectations. That's very uncommon. Usually when I get a helicopter, my expectations are not quite met, or the airplane not quite met, because there's always something it needs. This thing has everything that I want on a helicopter and more, even this weird green light, which I think that's supposed to be red in real life, but it is so cool. I mean, we have anti-crash beacons, all that stuff. We have flashing lights when, you know, for low voltage warning. We have a robust transmitter, has a lanyard adapter, which is nice. If you do fly a lot, you'll fly with a lanyard. This isn't so big that a kid can't handle it, but it's not so small that an adult fingers are gonna be, you know, awkward and clunky. So just, it really kind of strikes the balance between budget friendly and, you know, full on like legit hobby scale $1,500, $2,000 helicopter. So really excited about it. And it's beeping at me now. Inactivity. Yeah. No, it might be low voltage. But either way, guys, I'm super happy to bring this to you, and thank you to Eachine for working with us here on Brian Phillips RC. If you guys want to support us, buy the helicopter from the links in the video description below. Obviously, it comes as a ready to fly for us, and we've got the charger over here. It looks like just in that time, we're at 3 of 4 on the charger. I do love that the charger is kind of cool looking. It looks like a, you know, like a military station, some sort of weird fixture that only the military could spend taxpayer dollars to build. So I think that's pretty cool. And then if you guys have questions or comments, leave them in the description below or in the comments below, and we'll try our best to get to you. We're a little bit behind right now. We've been filming like crazy, but as soon as we get caught up, in fact, I'm gonna show you, when you're ready to shut it off, you just press and hold that button, and then it eventually shuts off. Okay, so you can lay it down. So if you guys want to help support us by buying this, just follow the links in the video description below. We also have a link to Patreon, so special thanks to our Patreons that are supporting us monthly right now. If you want to become one, click that link. It'll go through a process there. And then PayPal, if you like one-time donations, gifts like that are always appreciated. But mostly, we just want you to come here, watch the videos, buy the helicopters, the airplanes that you guys enjoy. We don't want to talk you into something that you don't really like, but I'm telling you, if you like helicopters and you like scale, this thing is the artifact you want on your shelf between flights, because that's exactly what's going to do. Is this thing's going to fly right in here. It's going to fly like this.
Yes, it
right?
is.
It's going to fly right in here, and this thing is going to be shelf worthy all day long, and it's going to be right there next to the Apache and the other ones, because when they're this good, you don't just fly them, you display them, and it's going to break your heart when you crash it. So don't do that. So guys, stay tuned. We'll show you the unbox and build, which was pretty much nil. So stay tuned. We'll have that coming up right now. YouTube, we got a box. We're going to open it right now. Here we go. Knife. Super excited for this one. Oh, what do we have here? It came in a garbage bag, so we can make some basic deduction from that. Holy cow, what do we have here? We've got the E200 from Eachine. Amazing scale helicopter. Cannot wait to get this Blackhawk out. It is gonna be amazing. Super, super excited to see this one. It looks so gorgeous. And I've got a little paper here. I'm gonna get that out of there. It looks like just a little bill of lading or power of attorney or whatever. How does this one open? Oh, there it is. Okay, so this one comes with 2 batteries. It looks like you can order it with 1 or 3. We got ours with 2. And that is something you'll want to double check when you're ordering. So follow the links in the video description below. You can help support our channel. Okay, we've got the transmitter manual and then the Heli manual, because these are orderable in different configurations. Oh yes, look how gorgeous it is. We love these things. Boop, boop. Well, this is kind of firm. A little bit firm. Here. They're a little bit firm.
A little much.
Okay, so this has the Eachine controller. Sticks feel a little bit better than average on the cheaper, ready to fly, high and low rates, 3D, 6G. So 6G, of course, would be like auto leveling. 3D would be like stabilization. And throttle hold. Okay, so we're gonna have throttle hold toward our belly. Okay. Just keep unboxing this. Oh yes, I'm not gonna pull out the helicopter yet. I know that's what you guys wanna see, but I'm not doing it. Batteries similar to the E110 and the E120. It looks like there's a 2-pin terminal here where that plugs in on the bottom. That's pretty sweet, not sure what that's for. This is actually where you plug it into the helicopter. This is 1350 milliamp 30C lithium polymer pack. So it's a 3S pack. That's pretty sweet, so we'll shut that off. We have 2 batteries. There are 3 available in this pack. As you order them, got quick releases here. And then the charger. And yes, you're right, I'm making you wait for the last because I know I wanna see it. I'm kinda dying to see it, but I'm gonna see all the boring stuff first. Okay, it looks like this is the charger. It had some schmutz on there. It looks like a little piece of foam. Even the charger looks cool. That is
cool,
so
like
cool.
all matches.
That is awesome. I love it. It's like they designed it to be sitting out as a display. And the charger is included. It comes with a regular drum style connector. The output is 15 volts at 2 amps. A little bit unusual to see this type of drum style connection on a charger these days. Seems like everything is pretty much always USB. So let's, we got the plug right here. We'll plug it in. We always kind of do this stuff as we go just so we can show you how this is done. Okay, so we'll take this thing. See how there's an end here? It sits into there like this. Okay, then it flashes when it's charging. Totally sweet looking. Obviously a custom battery for the setup. We've got some spare props in here more than likely. Yep, looks like we just have a total set of 4 and another tail rotor. Very cool. It comes with some spare screws, an Allen, 2 Allens, and then a very small Phillips screwdriver. Look at that. That's cool.
Oh man,
it's always nice.
Needing some more screwdrivers.
Yeah, we have been. We've been short on them lately. Oh, and then there is a global power supply adapter here.
Oh, geez.
And then it looks like there's another LED that sticks in on the bottom. What? How does this work? What is the deal with this? I don't know exactly what that does, but it's probably like another light. Oh, that's cool. Okay. I'm not sure what that is, but we'll find out really quick. Oh, it goes onto the front of the helicopter. I just saw it in this picture. Okay, so the moment of truth everybody's been waiting for. Oh, yeah, baby. That is so sweet. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Where have you been all my life, helicopter? Seriously,
Thanks.
That is so sweet. Oh, look at these. Look at these. Watch. Oh, yes. Give them a super ultra close up of this. Absolutely. Even the tires are squishy.
Oh, they are.
Who would have thought?
That's so weird.
And then look, the doors open and stuff, I think. Oh, yes. That is so cool. And yes, that's functional. They actually open so you can see the brushless motor in there. This appears to be a direct drive on a brushless motor. Look at all the antennas and scale details. Yes, squishy tail tire. No shock on the back. We've got an anti-collision or anti-crash beacon here. A little bit of glue here is exposed. That's a bummer. I'm gonna peel that off right now so it's not uggo. It's kind of like a clear glue at least. And then look, we've got the blackhawk 60. And then I don't think this thing moves up and down, but how sweet would that be if it did? And then of course the tail rotor on the back looks a little bit small, but I can live with that because everything is gonna blend in once it starts running. And look at that fly barless setup. Oh, so cool. The collective and the cyclic in there. I can't help but feel like that looks like it's backward, but it may not be backward. That is so cool, guys. Okay, I gotta look at the picture. Yeah, it does appear to be going forward in the picture. Big handlebar here. Looks like this window would have opened in the real one. And just loving the way this looks. And yes, the battery does stick on the front. Okay, I figured it out. Okay. Oh, look at that. Watch this when I drop it down. Watch it squat. Oh, that's so cool. Show them it squat. Under the weight of its helicopter. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, we're not used to seeing such awesomeness. Okay, so check this out. This light does slip on, just like so. And then it is shared between your batteries. And then when you're ready to fly, this will come on. And that actually goes in right here, just like this. and then slips down in. Okay, so I'm sort of nervous to like power it up without having the transmitter. And of course, this is the bottom of the motor, so be careful. And then a handle back here. Guys, look at the detail. This is just amazing. We've never seen this level of detail on a little micro heli, especially no less a ready to fly heli. Amazing, super excited to see this one in the air. Obviously it is a little bit bigger than some of the other helis we've reviewed in the past, but that's not gonna stop me from trying to fly it inside. And then also, I know I did very briefly mention this, but if you have a UK, I think this is a UK plug, I'm not sure. But I can't tell what adapter this is, but this adapter goes to the adapter that goes like this. So all you have to do is just plug that in, and then of course you've got your global power supply set up. I don't know if that actually goes in though. Let's see if it goes. Goodness gracious, you really gotta press hard. Well, anyway, you guys know what you need to do. If you're used to having those global power supplies, you'll know what's up. Okay, so that went to a fast flash because it was interrupted from its power cycle. And there's a blue light on the side of our adapter too, so that's pretty cool. I don't know why it's freaking out. I'm gonna unplug this, plug it back in, goes to solid light, drop it back in, slow flash means charging. Okay, so as you can see also the package is really nice, transportation case. You can actually put everything back in and it keeps it all nice and clean and easy to find all your goodies. So in my case, I'm gonna unpack it. And what I wanna do is I wanna figure out what type of batteries we need inside of here. So we obviously have 2 batteries in this kit like we talked about for the flight packs, but then of course, there's not gonna be any batteries in this. Yep. So we'll pop off the back and we're gonna need 4 AA's to be installed here. So we'll do that and come right back. Okay, so this is the transmitter we're gonna use for the E200. So I'm just gonna write on here E200 Blackhawk. Okay, because I have so many of these, I can't keep them straight, and that is something I suggest. A couple of different different details is that these are obviously going to be a specialized battery for the helicopter, but there are 2 screws here. You can lift those 2 screws and then you should be able to gain access to this battery if you would need to really in a pinch replace it. Obviously you can order those. Follow the link in the video description below and there should be some parts and accessories that are available for most of the Banggood items that we work with. Banggood obviously for this particular helicopter, so absolutely gorgeous. Cannot wait to see it in the air. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and go through the normal process of putting the batteries in. Just the run-of-the-mill, world's cheapest AA batteries here. We get like 4,000 of them for about 10 cents delivered. Okay, so we got the batteries in there. We're gonna turn this on. Okay, so this is like what we've seen from XK and some different manufacturers. So we've got throttle here. You can see the percentage will be displayed on the screen here. Okay, so that's pretty cool. You got a live feedback there. There's up, there's down. There's also high rate, low rate. So the high rate and low rate. And then there's the function mode. And you can go in and make changes. Of course, it gives you live feedback on the yaw, pitch, and roll, which is nice. Don't like that the screen goes blank like that. That's kind of frustrating. And then up here we have the, okay, so up here we've got the flight mode and then gear. It looks like it's a combinational key. Okay, so if you want to make changes to these settings, you can do it. I believe you have to press and hold this, and then you can reverse the channels, or you can go to the system sub trim, or you can go to the swash plate type, you can go to the model type, or you can go to the model select, or you can go to the gyro setting. Then I think there's also the pitch curve and the throttle curve and the exponential for any of the 3 control axis, and then the dual rates. And then they have the reverse. So you can see it's kind of like a scrolling through a menu. Okay, and then when you're done, you can just hit function end and you're back to normal, okay? I hate that that backlight goes off quick, that's frustrating. Yeah. But otherwise, these are good transmitters. We've used them before on other helicopters. In fact, if you look up there, there's 2 of them on the left side that are in this place. I think those were like an X-Fly product, but they have a very similar setup, and we reviewed those some time ago. So if you have questions, you can maybe refer back to those videos. But for now, I want to get this thing flying. So first things you can do is you can press this button. That's so sweet, look at that. You press that button and it wakes up the battery. And that's got 4 bars, so I'm gonna assume that that's full. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get that one plugged in. And the first thing I wanna do is have my transmitter on, and then I'm gonna go ahead and slide this in here. I believe you might actually power up the transmitter second on this one. If it's like some of the more advanced helicopters, you actually do the transmitter first. There's a little bit of a pocket issue there. I don't know if I'm gonna say it's bad, it's just kind of like a weird fit, because you definitely have to get it all the way in there, and then you have to press this in. See how it's kind of slid in? And then when you pop it down in there, I just don't want to break it because this thing is so dang beautiful. There it goes. So it's snapped in. Very, very strange fit, but it goes, okay? Because it's going in and then seating. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. And then what I want to do is, because this is a slightly bigger than some other helicopters you've done, I'm going to probably start it on the ground here, and then we'll see if it gives us any problems in terms of, you know, like hopping around or making me feel uncomfortable. And then I can make sure I'm in the auto leveling, which 6G should be in the auto leveling versus 3D, okay? So what I'll do first is I have to actually turn the unit on, of course. So I'm gonna turn this on real briefly, press this button, wait for the 4 lights. Oh, so cool, look at all the lights. Okay, so now it's looking for the connection, and it's connected. You can see the swash plate moving. Okay, so the leaning forward, leaning back, leaning to the left, leaning to the right. And then, of course, the yaw authority would be here. Throttle holds on and tested. So you can see the collective working, and you can see the cyclic working, which is pretty cool. That's kind of funny, it spins it. Okay, so first things first, let's see if it spins up. So I'm out of the throttle hold, and camera crew, if you want to just protect yourself a little bit, just in case. Oh man, that is so cool. Of course, we got good yaw authority. It's pivoting, whoa buddy, it's pivoting around, and it definitely pivots around the center axis well on the ground. We don't have skids, so because of the wheels, I wanted to see how that would work. All right, we're gonna try this again. I'm in high rate or low rate? I believe I'm in low rate. Okay, so we're gonna just go up to about 10% throttle here and just give it a little bit of yaw, and we're just gonna shut it off. Throttle holds on. Okay, so sometimes when we do helicopters, we do them inside. This one seems like it's got a little bit of power, and I don't wanna find out I'm not skilled enough to handle it. I think it's gonna be okay, but if you show them the windsock out there, there's a little bit of wind involved, so I wanna be careful. The other thing that's so cool about this is look at all the lights. That is awesome. So cool. And by the way, I don't know if I showed you, but both doors open. Got some cat hairs on there now. That's always good. That is so sweet. Man, those are bright LEDs.
They are really bright.
And then of course this. So I'm assuming those will flash when we get to a low voltage. And then of course the large forward facing light, which does look a little bit cartoonish. But you can unplug that. If you don't like the way it looks, you can easily take it off. So the other thing too is I'm just looking to see if it's auto leveling, because I can't tell right now. I can see everything moving there. Show the people up close. Leaning back, leaning forward, leaning to the right, leaning to the left. So that's all working, but I'm just not 100% confident that it's gonna go up and be totally level. So you see these lines? I love that when it's spinning, you can see those lines. It looks so gorgeous. So stay with us, guys. We're gonna jump outside and try this again. All right, guys, so we're gonna be outside flying. So my guess is you'll see this all at the beginning. These helicopters are something else. Super fun. We haven't seen it fly yet, but we've seen it spool up, and we wanted to just show you the basics on how to use the transmitter. So if you guys wanna help support the channel, Brian Phillips RC, you can buy this particular helicopter, in this case, rather than aircraft, from the links in the video description below. You'll help support us with small commissions from the companies we work with. And definitely, if you have questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll do our best to help you out. If you're at the point of making a decision, then you've already seen it fly. You'll know what you're getting into. And that's one of the best things we do here on Brian Phillips RC is we give you an idea of what to expect from an absolutely gorgeous helicopter in this case, because sometimes when they're gorgeous, they don't always fly as good as you'd like them to. But in other cases, they fly just as good as they should, and they're really cool. So we're excited to bring this to you, and thanks to Banggood for working with us on this one. Really cool in Eachine. So very, very cool plane. Helicopter in this case. I can't hardly believe how good they're getting. The little scale helicopters are a godsend. We've been asking and begging and pleading for something just like this for years, and we're finally starting to get some of them with all the full features, the auto leveling, the capability of doing actual 3D and things like this. These are the types of things we've been begging for years. So thank you for doing that, hobby companies, and keep at it. Here at Brian Phillips RC, we'll keep bringing you guys no BS reviews. So give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for notifications if you haven't already. We have new content coming out weekly, sometimes 2-3 times a week. But in the meantime, if you're waiting for that next video and you just can't wait, there's only about 1,600 of them you can still sit and watch. So if you're looking to fill a gap, there's literally thousands of videos waiting for you in queue. So definitely go check them out. And if you can't find what you're looking for, check out brianphillipsrc.com, and we will have links to help you find what it is you're looking for, and then the links to buy if you decide you'd like to do it. So it's the same way that the links in the video description work. And special thanks to our Patrons that are helping to support us monthly. If you want to be a Patreon, you can sign up below, links in the video description below, and then PayPal as well if you'd like to do just a one-time donation. You don't like the monthly stuff. And PayPal is very direct and to us, and there's very limited fee structure involved. So if you want to cut out the middleman, that's one really good way to do it. But there again, the Patreon is nice because it's monthly for us. So we appreciate it, and the family, thanks. Thanks all you guys that are watching at home, and we have so much more coming on Brian Phillips RC, just like this, and possibly even better. But look how sweet it is. It's hard to say better when you're looking at that. Come back for more.